Welcome to this look at a new mod map to Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. I am here on Frühling 2K23. This is by, I'm going to say this way, KA77E. Every time I say it a different way and I get in trouble for saying it wrong, so I'm just going to say it like that. 204.14 megabytes download. Now I'm going to say this now. This map's already out, Frühling, and it came out, well, it might have had an update, but April 2022 was the last time it's got a date stamp on it. I did a short Let's Play on it, also by KA77E. So my query was, and technically still is, why this isn't an update to the map, why this is a new map. Because technically it's not a new map. The map is almost the same. I say almost. You know, this is the sort of thing that if we went from FS19 to FS22 and this was brought out as a new version of it, I would always be asking, has enough changed to make it new? Or has it still got that nostalgia? It's still got that feeling of the original. Some things have changed a little bit. The landscape has changed a little bit. The map has changed. But I'm still curious as to why it wasn't an update, why it's a completely new one. But that being said, it's here. We're going to look at it. And it still was cracking a map as it was originally. It has been decluttered, it has been streamlined, it has been adjusted to make it a little bit more, give you more options, I think, for what you want to do with it, is probably the best way of putting it. So looking at the map here, most of the areas are the same. I think we've lost one meadow, I think. I'm pretty sure it said 14 fields, 6 meadows. The original was 14 fields, 7 meadows. One forest, which we've still pretty much got. And we've got 2 required mods now. We've got Hessian Farm by Bernie MW and the Old Grain Mill by BERNIESCS. I suppose the thing with this as well is, as the game has progressed and new things have become available, things like bale and pallet storage, and it might be there are new mods out or mods that have been made that the map maker feels fits better, I think. That's just my own personal opinion on it. I honestly don't know for definite. So, the map. On New Farmer, we start with the main farm area, which on Farm Management Start from Scratch you don't own. It's only 71,424. Field 23, Field 15, Field 28 and Field 14 up the top. There's some really nice features. I'm not knocking it at all. I'm just saying it's a curious one, but there's some really nice features that have been put onto this, which I really like. Field prices. There aren't many fields and they're not massive. So 146 grand for field 10, 19 one of the larger ones, largest on the map, 208. That's the forestry area, 223 grand, so nothing that's going to break the bank. There's a placeables area up here, that's 53,952. We'll get up and I'll show you that in a little while. And there's been a couple of extra productions put in here as well. And yeah, like I say, some really neat features which I'm going to show you as we go around. So we'll come out. Now, if you played on this before or watched the previous map tour, I mean, immediately you look and think, whoa, this is different. And it is. The map's been adjusted, the farm's been adjusted, it's been... Not all of it, but like you'll see, this barn was always here. This is on a separate plot of land, just to the side here, which you can buy separately. Plot 24, you get access to the barn. You get no option for the doors to open until you own that plot of land to access the barn. We've got a little track that runs around the side there and a track that goes this side. New sign. Pasture out the front for the cows. The previous version had a little roadway that went across the front and went out that way around this field. So this field's a little bit smaller, but not, you know, horrendously so. And we do start with animals in all the pens, so it's nice they got a pasture. It was quite small before, so this has kind of been built out a little bit. Water point here at the pond, and then we come in through the main gates. The farm is in its same orientation, it's just around it has changed and the roadway and stuff has changed. So we come in, we've got a sleep trigger and we got a wardrobe trigger just here. The barns and buildings are the same and pretty much in the same position. However, this is new and very cool. This is the Frühling farm shop. And I love the flickering, look, the flickering lights as well. We can turn on shed lights when you come in here, but that kind of ruins the ambiance, I think. That nice feeling in here. But it's very cool and very nicely detailed. So we've got the farm shop tucked away just in here. We've got machinery and equipment. Slot count on New Farmer is 879. And we start with a fair bit of equipment. I'll just show you in here. I'm not going to read it all out. We'll see as we go around. But we start with all of this. There's a fair bit of it, as you can see. And it's all around the main farm area. And then on farm management, start from scratch. The slot count comes down to 756. Difference is you don't have any of the equipment and machinery. The animals are still here, the buildings are all still here. Now there is a warning that comes with this. It does say that the building is a listed building and shouldn't be removed. And I thought, well, I'll have a look, and you know, it says, by the way, the farm is the heart of the Frühling district, is a listed building. The farm is therefore not suitable for tearing down. So I removed the farm building. When this building removed, the building removed, but all of this inside remained, and there's some stuff upstairs in that barn that also remained, so it was hanging in the air. So the advice is not to remove it. There's a placeables area which is for that kind of thing. So inside we've got a forklift truck. We'll turn the shed lights. We've got a Berkman trailer, but upstairs there's a really cool little feature up here. Look at this, the history of the farm. It's very cleverly done, with the addition of certain buildings and vehicles. We go from black and white, I suppose we've got that one there, but that's sort of a modern one, but into colour pictures. The addition of new buildings and things. These are the new productions that have been put in, which is clever. I like the way that's been done. And the farm shop added, so showing the progression of the farm as it goes. In 2023 is left blank for you. For whatever you decide you're going to do, what are you going to add to the farm? What value will you bring to it? I like that. That's clever. So, like I say, I'm not knocking the fact there's a second version of it. It's unusual. I think that's probably more why it's not something that normally happens. We've had sometimes two almost identical maps come out by two different map makers. So, mower and our tedder in there. Track to the front here, I'm going to use that in a moment. We've got the Hessian farm silo, which is to the side, or just behind here. This is a 2 million litre multi-fruit silo. Open the back door there. We come around the side here. We have the first of the new productions. This is, I say the new productions, here on the farm. This is cheese production, which is utilising this side shed. If we go inside, we can open the door from inside. And we can open this end door. So on the shed lights in this, but cheese production here just requires milk, all done on the farm, cottage industry. So right at the bottom there, cheese, 3 milk in, 2 cheese out, nice and straightforward, very cool indeed. Across the way here, we've got our plough sat here, chickens, we've got 11 out of a possible 100, then we've got our trigger over here for our cows out in the pasture. Why is that? There we go, just there. We've got 15 out of a possible 80 for our cows that are out there. We can open this and go into the pasture if we want to. If we come around the back. Milk point, just there. Was that the feed point? That's the milk point, isn't it? So we've got our fermenting silo, just here. If we go back into this menu, you'll see it just there. That's the fermenting silo. I'm not sure what the capacity on that is actually, because when you go into the build mode, actually we're talking about build mode now as well. Other than the 2 required mods, if we come into, actually we need to go into this one first, and we go down to mods and DLCs. Under here we've got the class dominator, the header, and header trailer, which have been slightly adjusted and modded. This is the Frühling edition. And it's the Frühling edition because on the back it's got the Frühling logo. Look at that. How cool is that? If we come out of there and then we go into build mode, under sheds, around the end there we've got the old shed Frühling mod. Then we've got under farmhouses, I think it was the next one. There we go. Oh, hang on, Hessian farm. Oh no, that's one of the required mods. Got farmhouse written down there. And then I think it was just factories, I think. Yeah, there we go. We've got lake milk. And the Hessian silo, it's got it there, but it doesn't say how much it holds. I can't remember off the top of my head. It might be 1 million, it could be 2 million. I honestly can't remember. Anyway, we've got Lake Milk, and that's the only other one. There's a couple of extra under landscaping. We've got some extra paint textures, cobbles and that kind of stuff. Now it says trees and plants. There's nothing saying it's a Frühling mod, but we've got the ability to, you know, landscape and play around with whatever you want to do. So as far as more equipment and machinery goes, this is our bale and pallet storage. We've got 6 bales out of a potential 250. You can see them in the back there. And bottom right, you'll see our option there. Straw 9,000 litre, hay 8,000 litre, and silage bales 5,000 litre, 2 of each. Double trailer stacked there. I like the fact this has been dipped down now. This was sort of straight on before. Another tractor, feed mixer just there. Cultivator. Windrower tucked in there. Water tank. Or is it water and milk? Water and milk. Just there. Then we've got a little allotment. Now the allotment and the 2 factories, or the 2 little productions on here, as you've seen, they're not in the build mode, so they're sort of, you don't want to remove them. These are on here already. We've got a tiny little allotment which fits in really nicely. Tomatoes, lettuce and strawberries here on the farm, just requires water. Lovely. This is where the chickens were originally. And we swing round into the field. This has changed a bit because the original one, I remember mowing this and doing work on it. This had a big bit that stuck out in the middle. That's gone, so it's more of an open field now. And we've got some more equipment out here in the field. We've got a muck spreader just here. That's weeder, isn't it? Weeder there, and another, well, bale trailer there, so 3rd trailer. We cut through the bushes. Back out the other side. Come round to here. Slurry spreader, manure heap. Slurry point there for our cows. Then we come down to this barn and building here. Forage wagon, cedar tucked in there. Open the back of the building. We've got our header and header trailer, and we've got our harvester. And then we've got our second production. So this is our strawberry jam production. Again, we can open the side door there and the end door. Get a bit more light in. Click on that. Takes us that one there. Strawberry jam. Strawberries in, jam out. Again, doesn't get any more straightforward, but a couple of reductions on the farm. Nice features. So there, and this is where the horse was. Hope was round the side here. So yeah, a few little tweaks here and there, a few little changes. For the most part, the buildings are in the same place. A few little adjustments. And again, I think for the better with the productions added, you know, absolutely. And the fact that as we go around, you'll see the map has streamlined, and there are a couple of areas on the map which, I mean, the map was the map. I never necessarily thought it was cluttered before, but I guess it's been done to give you the option to add things in if you want to, but not be restricted if you don't want to. So if you know, if sometimes you get maps and everything's on the map, there's tons and tons of stuff on there, and sometimes you can't remove it. So if you want to put a production in of your own choice, it means you then double up on certain productions, where I suppose in this case, this regard, with a placeables area, you've got the option to add stuff in. I think, you know, some of the land, it has adjusted, it has altered. A few more bushes and trees here and there. It's, you know, it's just little bits, you know. So as we come out along here, we'll have to put some money in a moment as well. These grass fields with fencing round are still here. We've got our horses here. So we had Hope before. We've got a horse paddock just here. If we go out to the map, so we've done round the farm, out here to this point here. Now this bit of forestry, although this is one forest, we do have these 2 bits here, which there's a bit of forestry there if you want to do a little bit of forestry. But plot 27 there, 16,464. That's all. If we buy that and do that, we've got 2 out of a potential 10, I think it is. Yeah, 2 out of 10. We've still got Hope. I didn't even look at the names when I did the whiz round. We've got Hope and Angel now. How cool is that? So Hope and Angel in the horse paddock just there. As we come into the main town, I'll say town, village, town, It seems more lush, more green. Is it verdant? Is that the word? I'm trying to think. It wouldn't be a map to have been put out in front of traffic, would it? And we turn into the store. Now the store has changed quite a bit. A lot more open space, a lot more room to manoeuvre. You know how I like a manoeuvre. We've got a buy point there for seed, fertiliser and lime. Just there. We'll get our workshop trigger just here. And we'll get our store, vehicle store in here. Again, really nicely detailed and modelled in here. Now I didn't think there were collectibles. No, they're not. I was to say, I'm sure I wrote down the word me. Land, forest and garden. Helmut Müller-Schmidt. Nice. Now, something I didn't check, actually, what I will do, I'll probably do it now, is we'll click on that and I'll reset. There we go. So this is the reset point. Just to double check, I mean, I normally do it when I'm doing my whiz around the map just to double check, but this is the reset point for the map. So if I need to reset anything, it will reset here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put some money in because I'm going to need to buy some other plots as we go around. So this time I'm not doing it from government subsidy signs. I'm just going to do it from the borrow from the bank, just for the purposes of this. There we go. The other thing to point out, contracts are available on this map. What else was I going to mention? Oh, there's no biogas plant. So you've got the option to place one in if you want to. If we go around the back here, now if you might remember, this was an open space with a supermarket on originally. If we come around the back of here, we've got the Lake Dairy, which is modded. As far as I can see, it might be the recipes are a little bit different, but it's a standard dairy other than that. And then we come round out to the front. We have got, tucked down the back, a sale point there for the village market. That's just there. This building here is the bakery, which the rest of the points are around the front, but that's the village market sale point around the back there. Bakery is at the front, overlooking the lake. We still have the little lake house on the original one. It did say if you want to come and have a game of chess, you can. I've never got this right once. I always end up in the water. Oh, okay. I think I did. I still did, but don't say anything. So you can come down to the lake house here, play a game of chess if you want to, with stunning views. No, I splashed. Never mind. So, bakery at the front. Just here. And we come back round and out, and we've got the restaurant sale point, which is just here. There we come out. Now, this is one thing that I've often wondered on maps. You never ever see, well, you see modded animal pens, animal enclosures. No one ever mods the bees. No one ever does any modded beehives and stuff on maps. You never see anything different. I like the fact this has been done to make more of a fuss of the bees and beehives, and it's a nice feature. I think it's really cool. That's the point there for your honey pallets to spawn, and we've got 4 Langstroth 33 hives just here. So we are now, I shall show you where we are now. So we came through the town, round there, we are now at this point. So if you buy plot 31 for 19,512 and do that, you get the 4 hives come up, so they're now yours, and you'll get honey and stuff come up. And then you've got this little plot here for plot 32, 21,240. You don't have to buy that, but what's nice about that, if you come along, all these flowers and stuff here, and there's a little sign. Now, if I have translated this correctly, colourful flowers for honeybees and other insects. Is that right? Something like that, isn't it? To help pollination. It's just a nice feature. It's nice when the bees get something, isn't it? They get a bit something extra. Blessed are the beekeepers, you know. So, continuing on from there, from the bees. Up over the top now. On the previous version, along this road, was the biogas plant. That's gone. And as we swing round here, we came round onto the back of a large industrial estate, and there was loads and loads going on here. But we've got a cow pasture on here now. So we've got the cows at the main farm, and here we've got a cow pasture. So we are now here at plot 21. 34,473. If I buy that, do that, our triggers come up. We have 10 out of a possible 120 cows. They will still produce milk, they need water, and they need their feed. But they're very happy. Barn to the side. So like I say, there have been some additions, there have been some changes. The map in essence itself is the same. A lot of the locations are the same, but there have been some changes. Definitely. Over the bridge and down the hill. And this is one of the areas where the biggest changes have occurred. And this was where there was a big industrial estate here. And it was, I must say, cluttered. I think as well, what I like about what's been done, I think probably why, I'm going to say KA770 again, has done it, is that the buildings that are on here now fit the map better. I think the original stuff was the standard in-game productions, and they were just sort of plonk, 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 plonk. This is industrial estate. And it's one of those things that has niggled at them, and they thought, you know what, I want to change it. I want to make it more, you know. Anyway, that's just my own thoughts on it. So here we have got this is the production shed. If I click on here, we can buy the production shed for 50 grand. So this one sort of takes in a few of those productions that were on here originally. So we've got our oil production, so sunflower and canola oil. We've got fabric wool, and we've got sugar beet sugar and sugar beet cut. So not everything, not all the oils, and we haven't got cotton on here either. But yeah, so we've got 3 productions in one in that building if you want to buy that. And then right here we have got the placeables point. Now the placeables point's got a lot of stuff on it already, and you might be looking thinking, well, that's great, but I know the question that will be coming, can I get rid of all that stuff? You can. So if we come back into here and I buy that plot there, 53,952, which I mentioned before, and go into build mode to demolish. If I highlight any one of these like that and then press demolish, do I want to sell a decoration and construction? You don't get anything for it, but you can clear the site completely of all the fencing, all the stuff, and you've got your placeables points. So again, you could do yourself a little bit of a scenario where you're coming along and you're removing the rubbish or whatever you want to do. You don't have to. Of course you don't. The fact there's new skip mods and all those kind of things, you could put some skips on there, you could put some piles of rubbish, some metal, some stuff, and you could simulate removing it all. Or you could just say to yourself, I don't want to mess around with all that, I just want to clear the site and I want to be able to use it. So you might want to put your biogas plant on there, you might want to put some other productions on there, you might want to clear some more trees from behind it with mulching. I mean, like, there's plenty of points around here where with all the sort of new mods and mulchers and various different tree removal tools that you can clear plots and fields if you want to for productions, if that's your thing. From here then, I'm going to turn down here. And we've got sheep. Now the trackway to get to the sheep is actually sort of down there, and there's a little lane that runs up the back, but I'm going to cut across, so you might want to put your own track in here if you want to. We'll hop over here. Well, it doesn't open. Oh, it's because I haven't bought them. What am I doing? So from here, down there, we're at this plot here, plot 29. Right, if I buy the plot, there we go, that's better. So you can see there the little trackway runs up and back up again. Now we should be able to open it. There we go. Open our gate. So we've got 10 out of a possible 100 sheep up here. Water and feed points. Where was the... I'm looking for where the wool... Oh, it's here, wasn't it? Just in front of here. This way your wool pallets will spawn. That's your sheep. There are no pigs on the map. So if pigs are your thing, you might want to find a plot to put them in. We're going to continue down here. Across the river. Next up we've got the sawmill. Now even with platinum expansion on, this is a standard sawmill. Lumber in, planks and wood chip out. That's not to say you can't run platinum expansion stuff, you absolutely can, but you'd have to place a platinum expansion sawmill somewhere. And then across to the road just here, this is the next point that's had quite a big overhaul. This was another industrial point on the map. So we're down here, just gone past the sawmill. So here there's a big cluster. This field was much shorter, I think it's about there. And there was a big industrial estate here with I think 4 or 5 different productions on it as well. So here we're at the country market sell point. It's the thing I said originally when this map came out. The only reason I got to a point it was very hard let's play wise, especially running seasons and stuff, because there weren't a lot of fields and there weren't a lot of contracts available that kept swinging round, and the ones that there were, because it was quite small fields, the sort of thing you can tick over quite nicely with small machinery. If you want to run yourself a little cottage industry, you want to make yourself enough money to tick over and to live off of. But to run as a production, to make a lot of money, to buy more and build more and expand, it was tricky. It was a hard prospect. But it's a lovely, lovely map. And I think it's definitely, it's improved. I think it's a better version of it. Absolutely it is. So here, again, this fits in really nicely. I think, was it a restaurant here? But down by the river, and the buildings, they, like I say, they just fit. You know, they fit better, nicer. So we've got the grain mill for 45,000, pretty much standard wheat, barley, oats and sorghum. Words MrSealyp, with flour out. There's been a few tweaks to fields and stuff around here. A few little changes. Another crossing over the river there. And then we head down. The original version of the map down in this bottom part of the map had, this is where the sheep pen was, and the animal dealer was the other side of the road, I think it was, where this field is now. But on this version, we have our animal dealer, which is just there, and then straw barn, sell point just there. So we go back to the map. So from there we came back up, through across there to the grain mill, down across here, we're at the animal dealer and straw barn there. What we're going to do now is take this little turning back up. It's more open to the right there. I think there was more woodland there before. Oh, that was what I was saying. Silage clamp just there as we come through. You can get to it from either side, but there's a silage clamp just there, just south of the river from the farm. We cross the river again, third crossing point, and we're back at the farm. And that's the map. That's Frühling 2K23 by KA77E. Was it Kala? I can't remember what. I had a couple of people message me and I can't remember for the life of me what it was they said, and I couldn't find the message to double check it. And there you go. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free, and if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.